yeah, Christmas is around the corner. Some people might even call it the most wonderful time of the year. I'm not 100% sure about that, but what I'm sure about is it's a perfect time to spend money on guitar stuff. And today I want to show you my favorite gadgets where I think every guitar player should check that out, and it makes a shredder's life much easier. Here we go. Hey Guitar Champion, what's going on? I'm 𝗏𝗏𝗦𝗏 back from my practice dojo and welcome to today's video. You can find the links to all the stuff that I'm going to show you in this video in the description box, of course. And the 𝗏𝗏𝗦 links are affiliate links. I'm an 𝗏𝗏𝗦 affiliate, which means by your next purchase at 𝗏𝗏𝗦, I will get 5% of that purchase. It is a good way to help creators proactively. And even though that I'm a 𝗏𝗏𝗦 affiliate, I highly recommend, if you have something small to buy, then maybe check out the nearest local music store, music shop or instrument shop or whatever. Because for myself as well, when I want to get strings or picks or whatever, I just get into my car, drive 10 minutes to the next local music shop and get them there, because then we can save packaging, we can save transporting these kind of small things, and we are supporting local shops, which I think is a good thing. But anyways, 𝗏𝗏𝗦 is the big player, 𝗏𝗏𝗦 is the big thing. So the link that I'm going to show you today is mostly, or will be mostly from 𝗏𝗏𝗦, I think. So let's get into some gadgets that I consider practical when it comes to guitar playing. And the first thing that I have in my hand is one of the most requested things from people who are seeing my videos. It's this cushion pillow kind of thing. I don't use that anymore too often because of a certain reason that I'm going to explain in a minute. But this you basically put on your leg, lift your guitar in a more classical and more relaxed position. The thing is, I now need it because I have a new chair, or let's say my old chair was broken down and I have like a crappy old replacement for that. And this chair is actually quite high, so my legs are not necessarily in a 90-degree angle. And by that, the guitar, when I have it on the lap without the cushion and the pillow, it is quite low. It is too low. What happens is that my forearm in the left hand and my arm in the right hand, that the elbows are not in a 90-degree angle. And this is one of the golden rules when it comes to posture while sitting and standing, that your elbow should always be in a 90-degree angle. So I need this with this chair. With my old chair, I didn't need it anymore, because the problem there was with that cushion, I had my arms way too flexed like this, and then the elbow wasn't in a 90-degree angle anymore. So it depends on what kind of chair you have. But when you have a chair which is a little bit higher and that you cannot adjust, like this old crappy wood chair here, I highly recommend to get one of these cushions so that you're always ready for some comfortable, nice shredding. Oh yeah. The next thing that I think every guitar shredder should have is exactly this one here on the guitar. And I definitely need some new ones because these ones are quite old. And my dear cat Igby and Mowgli, they love to play with this thing, so that it is full with cat hair, as you maybe can see, and it's a little bit worn out. This is a fret wrap, especially from the company Groove Gear. And fret wraps are just basically there to mute the strings. Especially when I record something, this can be really helpful. And yes, no, I know a real true guitar hero is not using a fret wrap because they are practicing so much that you can mute everything probably, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you, this does not work every time, and it is not a shame to help out a little bit with these kind of little things. So all jokes aside, especially when you have some tapping stuff, or also again when you're recording stuff, it can be really helpful to have something to mute the strings. When I don't have these around, I use my socks. At a certain point, that can get a little bit disgusting, so I recommend a little bit more the Groove Gear, especially as you can use these live. Alright, let's move on to the next thing. Picks. We all need picks, and one of the most frequent asked questions when it comes to my playing is, what kind of picks am I using? And I once proven in the video here on this channel that it doesn't matter what kind of pick you're using, as long as you're using the correct right hand technique, like how I teach it here, then you don't need picks at all. Oh, that was a little bit too heavy. Ouch. Well, but the picks that I now prefer nowadays are the flow picks. I used to play the Prodigy picks a lot, but I changed some of my picking habits in the last year. And one of them is, as I once mentioned here on a YouTube video, is that I nowadays try to pick as much as possible flat and parallel to the string. So I don't pick anymore with this side here, I pick more with the flat side as much as possible. It just gives you more attack, a little bit more sound benefit. It is harder, you need more muscles, you cannot glide through the strings anymore so much, but the sound benefits were really huge for me, and the perfect picks for that now for me currently are the flow picks, especially for me the 2.0 millimeters. But there's another pick that often people ask me about, and it's this one here, which is quite thick, as you can see. This pick in particular is by a company called Hufschmied. They are creating these kind of really thick and really heavy picks. But I'm not the biggest fan of those picks, not necessarily because of the company, but more like it's too thick. It's a little bit over-exaggerating when it comes to this. I like to use it as a demonstrational purpose in my videos, but really playing with that, especially now where I changed the technique and not gliding through the strings anymore, I have the flat side. Nah, not my kind of thing anymore. And they are really expensive. I mean, one of those picks maybe costs around 30 euros, 40 euros. Losing these kind of picks, imagine, it's like, you know, getting tickets for a concert or like a movie or whatnot, not going to there. Or it's like, yeah, paying half of a AAA game and not playing it. So, yeah, not necessarily something that I recommend. Next, of course, sometimes guitars need maintenance. And for maintenance, I love to use these kind of things, which is the Ibanez Multitool. Mal gucken, ob man die überhaupt so einzeln kaufen kann. Yeah, come on. Here you have any sort of, you know, I don't know the English words for that. You have these screwdrivers things. Again, I don't know the English words. You have these. Is that an Allen wrench? Does this thing called Allen wrench? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, Allen wrenches. You have. I have absolutely no idea what this one is for. It's like hammering on something, or like screwing something. Could be. You have something to measure the size of your fingers, of course, for example, like I did in January this year at the NAMM show, and much more useful tools to maintain your guitar. But not only repairing your guitars is really important, cleaning it as well. And for that, I love to use the Ernie Ball Love Protection Guitar Care Ortega. Not Ernie Ball, Ortega. Kind of thing. Smells good. Ugh, doesn't taste good. Ugh, ugh. Well, anyways, no, it's not too bad, but actually, Now I have also something that you will not find at 𝗚𝗏𝗧, but something that is quite important for me nowadays, especially when playing live. And you might have seen me playing live either with Dawn of Victory, ex-Rhapsody, playing the best of Rhapsody, or with Alkaloid, or with Megalife, the Mega Stupid Band, and all the other bands that I'm playing in. That I sometimes wear this kind of weird sock on my arm. And people are asking me sometimes, what is that? Why do I have this on my arm? Is it for blood flow or something like that? First of all, I think that looks really cool. No, but it is basically to glide across the body of the guitar a little bit easier. When I shred, especially when I play across all strings, I want to be as smooth as possible here on these kind of edges. And when it's really hot, it's really sweaty, it's really sticky, I start to get stuck here. So I use this weird sock. But what actually is this weird sock? Well, I've got it from gaming. I'm a passionate gamer. I play PUBG as an esport, sometimes even playing tournaments, even though that I'm not really good at it. I mean, with 35, you don't have the reflexes anymore like somebody who's playing it, you know, with 25 or something like that. But I need the sock while playing video games so I can do this kind of motion on my table, which I need to control the recoil of my weapon when I'm playing shooter games. And for that, really helpful is this kind of thing. And then I realized, wow, wait a second, I am sometimes stuck on the edge of my guitar. So this maybe can help. And I tried it out and it really helped. So highly recommend if you are playing a lot live and if you need to have, you know, being as smooth as possible when playing across the strings, get these kind of gamer sleeves. That can be really, really helpful. Yeah, basically that are the small things that I use in my everyday situation as a shred guitar player and as a metal live guitar player. Of course, guitars. I know, you guys know me, it's obvious. I play Ibanez. I'm an Ibanez endorser. I have right behind me, and I always have to be careful that I'm covering this guitar. I have one of the most secret Ibanez guitars that are going to be released in January of 6. Oh, can I give you a sneak peek? Can I give you a sneak peek? That's enough of a sneak peek. And amp-wise, I use the Fractal or Neural DSP Quad Cortex, but I mean, these are big investments. I mean, this is not like a 10 euro thing that you can get because your mom got you some, you know, gift cards for Thomann. And guess who's playing with the fret wrap? Of course, Yngwie. Yngwie's playing with the fret wrap. When it comes to lesson material, I of course have to say the best thing that you can get is for speed picking the ZEN of Speedpicking, my big online masterclass about speed picking, where you can teach you everything that I know about speed picking, the ZEN of Sweeping for sweeping, or if you are a beginner to more intermediate guitar player, the Gateway to Shred, my 4-week transformational course. All the links for that, of course, you can find as well in the description box. Alright, and I'm really thinking, is there more about to say for me and for my guitar playing? No, I use my phone to film me and to analyze me. I use the Monster Energy drink to keep my addiction safe and staying awake. And yes, basically that's it. So, I want to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas, which is coming in a couple of days. I wish you a really good time. Spend your time with your friends and your loved ones. Don't do it like Justin, spending your time alone at home playing and practicing guitar. Or do it like me if you like. I don't know. I don't care. Not necessarily something that I would recommend. Anyways, so I'm going to see you in my next video. I hope you like this little video. Feel free, of course, to subscribe to this channel. Leave a nice comment and like. Let me know what on your wish list for Santa Claus is guitar related and what kind of guitar or tool or amp or whatever is going to lie under your Christmas tree. I'm going to see you in my next video. Cheers and pour your progress. Bye.